Good morning. My name is Will Little, and my motto is, where there's a will, there is a way. I'm here to talk about the issue of guns and gun violence in America. Now, I know there are a lot of conversations and debates about banning assault weapons and more gun control, which I support the president on that issue. There's no need to have an assault weapon for any individual unless you're in the army. They are weapons of mass destruction. They're created to kill a lot of people in a matter of seconds. Now, there are some who say guns don't kill people, people kill people. And I'm not an advocate against guns at all. Of course, that's not my issue. My issue is just look at the mentality behind the gun. Now in America, we have people who love toy guns, real guns, gun videos, gun movies, gun games. We are obsessed with guns in America. We have guns that we put on our shelf, antique guns, 10, 15 different guns in our house that we're licensed to carry, or that we're not licensed to carry. But just look at the history of America and look at the 6 major massacres that we had in America. Right? 6 major massacres that we had in America. Just think about the victims of those massacres. Okay? Innocent people, minding their own business, enjoying the night out, a day in school, they at the movies, they at the mall, they on the highway, at the gas station. It's minding their own business. So, when we look at San Diego, California, July 14, 1984, there were 21 people killed and 19 wounded. In Holiday, Texas, October 16, 1991, there were 23 people killed, 19 wounded. In Blacksburg, Virginia, there were 32 people killed, 25 wounded. In Fort Hood, Texas, November 5th, 2009, there were 13 people killed and 29 wounded. In Aurora, Colorado, July 20th, 2012, there were 12 people killed and 58 injured in the movie theater. And we're all familiar with this one. In Connecticut, Sandy Hook, December 19th, there were 27 people murdered, 20 of them which were children under the age of 7. Now, as I speak today, there are probably gun shows all across America. And I can bet you that their lines are outside the doors. And not only that, after the Sandy Hook murders or massacre, there were more lines and more gun stores open selling out of guns. Because people still had a desire of gun. They probably thought that they would stop gun sales in America. Now, like I said, I'm not an advocate against guns. But those who have the right to carry a gun, if you need a gun, you should carry a gun. But we have to be educated about guns. And we have to be preventive with guns. See, myself and I'm speaking from personal issues because I don't have the right to bear arms anymore because I violated my right by committing a felony. Okay? But if I did want a gun, I can get a gun as quick as you can run to your neighborhood grocery store and bottle a bottle of spring water. That's how accessible guns are in any part of the neighborhood or any city. And that love and infatuation that we have in America for guns, you will see how it fits into this lifestyle of crime and how we have so many murders in America. Last year, 2012, there were over 16 million background checks. 16 million background checks. 16 million background checks for the sale of weapons. Right? For the sale of weapons. Now imagine how many guns actually were sold last year out of 16 million background checks. Now, on the flip side of that, okay, there were 15,000 people murdered in America. 15,000 people in America were murdered. 11,400 were victims of violence of a gun. Murder by a gun or assault weapon. And then think about gun education, because you had, out of that fraction, you had 400 to 500 people murdered by accident with a handgun. And coming to my city of Philadelphia, where I live, and which I love, we had averaging over 300 murders per year, which is sad. Last year alone, out of those 300 something people were killed, there were 104 under the age of 21. Young men and women under the age of 21. Probably killed by another individual around the same age bracket as them. And look at Chicago. You have a lot of gangs. They average up to 400 to 500 murders per year. Now, earlier I spoke about me not having the right to bear arms because I am a convicted felon. Okay? And the reason why I'm a convicted felon is because I committed a murder when I was young, a homicide, 19 years old, in possession of a gun, an argument, in a fight, getting a shootout, wound up killing another young man my same age as me. Not promoting violence in no kind of way, not glamorizing what I've done. I'm totally against it. So I hurt someone, took someone's life, hurt someone's family, and I hurt my own family. And somebody say I was young, I was misguided, I was angry, and I was ignorant. Of course, I agree with that. I was that individual. I had the wrong mentality, possessing the wrong kind of gun. Well, any gun was wrong. Ignorant, angry, and frustrated, like most of our youth here in the city of Philadelphia and all around the country. But we have guns. And that mentality mixed with a gun never proves to be a positive thing. It always proves to be fatal. Now when we come to individual people, everyone has violent and homicidal impulses. Like you may hear, for example, somebody say, well, my boss is getting on my nerves, I'm going to kill him. Or this girl's getting on my nerves, I'm going to see how I'm going to kill her. Of course we know they're joking. It is a joke. There's venting, there's anger and frustration. Some of us suffer from fear, feelings of hopelessness, and that probably will make us want or think we need a gun. Most of us can acknowledge feelings of rage, fear, and frustration, and jealousy, and not act inappropriately or destructively in any kind of way that'll harm somebody else. Of course. Like me, when I was the age of 19 years old, 17, 16 years old, someone who wasn't able or consciously willing to admit that I had such unacceptable emotion. I had higher than average levels of rage and frustration and anger that would cause me to lose control of my emotion and hurt someone or fatally abuse someone. Some people think good people have no feelings such as that. And in fact, all people have feelings like that. All people. To some of my neighbors, I was one of the good kids on the block. I cut the hedges, go to the store for them, paint the porches, put the trash out for them. But when 30 cops came to my block and banged down my door and locked me up for homicide, changed their whole perception of who I was. See? The reality is that we all have those impulses, those emotions. Some of us are able to control them. Some of us are very conscious of them. Some of us are not conscious of them or unable to control them. So looking into the mentality behind the gun. Some would say, well, why did you carry a gun? 15 years old, 16 years old. I say because my lifestyle demanded me to carry one. I was a hustler. Sold drugs. I had to protect myself, protect my product, protect my friends, protect my family. So I carried a weapon. How was I able to get a weapon? Easy. Person who was in possession of a gun, legally. Got on high, got drugs, sold me their gun. They wanted some drugs, they wanted some work. So I was able to store purchase guns. sometimes 2 or 3 guns, 4 guns in my house. And the same thing as my other friends. Some people come to the hood, come to the clubs. I mean, went to the gun store and bought guns. Went to some of these gun events and conventions and bought bunches of guns, a lot of guns. Brought them to the club. Seeked out the drug dealers. Yo, I got guns in the trunk. You want to buy some guns? Wholesale, Mac 10s, 9mm, everything. Became infatuated with guns. Everybody in the neighborhood had a gun. I loved my gun. I loved it. So much that I walked with it. I talked to it. I slept with it. I woke up with it. I was obsessed with guns, like the rest of my friends were. Had it on me all the time. I love how I feel. I love how it kicked. I love how it smoked, how I looked. I love how the handle was, how the grip handle was, or the pro handle. I loved all that about it. I even loved it so much I gave it a name. It made you feel immortal. You got that rush, that adrenaline when you shot it. Or that sound, or that double clock back. All those different things drives your emotion, it feeds your ego. And you're emotionally driven with that. And you think, all right, yeah, next time somebody gets in trouble with me, I'm going to use my gun. So that's the mentality that we had. Not even thinking about crime prevention. We're not even licensed to carry. But even talking about those who are licensed to carry. Some of them also get trigger happy and irresponsible with guns. Some of our gun owners believe they have a double-edged sword. Believe that since they are licensed to carry, they are licensed to kill. But not say all of them, because some of us carry guns for a relevant reason. Some people who possess guns legally carry guns for a relevant reason. You're a police officer, you're a security guard, your job requires you to carry a gun, you protect the money, you live in a house by yourself, you live in a dangerous environment, you work in a dangerous area, you walk home alone by yourself, you live with yourself and your kids. Yeah, so you use the guns for relevant reasons. You have a gun for a relevant reason. You possess a gun for a relevant reason. You have that right to protect yourself. So that is your God-given right. Even animals have that God-given right to protect themselves. The thing with our gun control and gun education is that you have a lot of store purchasing all over America and make guns accessible. That's why you see in the city so many young people carry guns. Gun education is very much needed so we can have crime prevention some kind of way. In possession of a gun, we try to avoid some accounts or entertain different situations that take place. Because we are possessed of a gun, we are looking to engage in arguments or issues that can be surely avoided. So, those who have their ego boost or desire to someday use a gun outside of the range, on an individual person, looking for an excuse to shoot somebody. Right? So a lot of things that goes on in our life sometimes can be prevented. My situation could have been prevented if I was thinking straight, but I wasn't. And a lot of other situations in Philadelphia and all over the country can be prevented. Because most of the homicides and the killings are based on dumb, petty arguments. The shootings are based on dumb, petty arguments. Right? But it's the simple fact that people got high levels of frustration and anger, like we mentioned before, and they have a gun. Legally or illegally. It doesn't matter. Because it's the individual behind the gun. It's the mentality behind the gun to cause a death or hurt someone. Now we know some criminals have no regards for guns. Especially if you know you're out in the game and you have enemies. They don't care about the law. They don't care about the individual person. All they care about is protecting themselves and those who they love the most. Alright? But looking at those who license to carry a gun, and not really that much educated about guns or solving problems without using